everybody, it's Kaycee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another silhouette teaching video, or design with me, if you will, and I'm going to show you a few different ways to make one sticker, specifically a doctor appointment sticker. You'll be able to use what I show you to make many different stickers, different appointment stickers, planner stickers, text stickers, lots of things like that. We'll be making one with an area to write in the appointment time and what type of appointment it is, and then a couple others with only text or just text with an icon. Hopefully by watching me walk through all the steps, you'll be able to see some tips or tricks that I use in Silhouette that will help you when you're designing stickers. Alright, before we get started, you can download the Silhouette Studio software for free from their website. I'll leave a link below in the description box. You don't even need a Silhouette cutting machine. You can just download the software for free at any time. The version that you're seeing here is the most up-to-date version that's available at the time I'm filming this. I also want to mention, if you are planning to sell any of the stickers that you create, you need to make sure you purchase the commercial license for any fonts, icons, or graphics, whatever you use. I always like telling you that as a little disclaimer. I find my fonts at multiple places. There's a website called The Hungry JPEG that has pretty cheap commercial fonts, also Creative Fabrica, and then you can also find fonts in the Silhouette Design store. So without further ado, let's start designing. Okay, so here we are in Silhouette Studio. I just have a basic setup here. I have my registration marks set to the default, and then I have my everything set up for my portrait machine. So you can just set it up for whatever machine you have. None of this really matters right now. We're just designing stickers. So as long as you just have your big blank area that you can design something in, you're good. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to just zoom in just a couple times, just so it's a little bit bigger, since the stickers we're making are going to be a little bit smaller. We're going to start with just the text sticker, so the one that just says doctor appointment. And since that's the simplest, I figured that'd be the easiest to start with, and then we can build from there. So we're going to start going over here, and we're going to click this text icon, the big A, and then I'm going to click it. And then I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to click anywhere in the white space. I'm going to do it more towards the left because we'll be typing, so it'll go off the page. Alright, and then I'm going to just start with the word appointment. So I'm going to do all this in caps lock, like in uppercase. So we're going to have all uppercase letters for appointment. I think this looks good. I decided I'm going to do lowercase for doctor and then uppercase for the appointment. So what we're going to do, I typed this out, so we have the word appointment, but this isn't the text that I want. It doesn't look very good to me for what the style that I'm going for. I just wanted to go through and look at all my fonts and see which one I thought would look good for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Command A. I'm on a Mac. If you're on a PC, it's Control A, and that just selects the whole word. If you didn't have your cursor already in here, so if it wasn't blinking in here, just click somewhere, double click on the word, and then just Command A or Control A, and you'll have selected the whole word, so it turns blue now. It's always going to have a very slightly red outline, and that's the cut line. We don't want each letter to cut out individually, but that's the default. So we're going to go up here, and we're going to click this. It's the transparent or no stroke or no outline, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to just click this one right here, and that'll take the red away, so it's not going to cut anything right now. We don't have any cut lines. And then we'll just leave the appointment black right now. That's fine. We'll just leave it. Alright, and I'm going to go up here. I like using the buttons up here. There's a lot of shortcuts right here. Everything that you're seeing up here is also available over here, and there's more options even, but the most used options pop up here. So what we're going to do, I already looked through all my fonts because that takes quite a long time just to find one that I like. So I found one that I liked, so I'm going to just type that up here, type it in, and then I'm going to hit return, and then you'll see my font changed. So this is the one I decided on. I decided on a pretty condensed font because doctor is a much shorter word than appointment, so I wanted them to be kind of the same size, and so I figured if it was condensed, then it shortens the word appointment. So that's why I decided on that. So we're just going to click that, and then I can click my arrow up here to click off the text then. Alright, so we have our appointment right here, so our word appointment, and we'll kind of work with this in a little bit. First, let's just get the word doctor written out. So I'm going to go back over here to the text button, the big A, click it, And we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to click in here and click, oh, we don't want it on. I want all this in lowercase, so I just took off my caps lock and I typed in doctor. And now what I'm going to do is the same thing. So it has that slight red outline around it and it's black fill. We want to Command A or Control A and then go over here and say no stroke, and then the red outline is gone. All right, and then this, I already found the font for this one too. I wanted like a script font for this. I thought that would look good with that sans serif font that I have for appointment. So I'm going to just type in that, and so here's my script font that I decided on. I think another font that would be pretty would be one that had like the D, if you had like a beginning, if you put a swoosh off the edge, that would be kind of pretty too. But we're not going to go through all that because then you have to kind of do special things to the text. So we're not going to do all that. But so this kind of jumps, if you saw that little blue line here, it kind of lines it up to the center. But if yours doesn't do that, that's a little bit new feature in Silhouette Studio. If you have a newer version or if yours just didn't jump into the center, drag, just click anywhere like around here outside of the two text words, and then just click and drag over both words and both of them will become selected. And then if you go up here, you'll have the option to align them all center. And I already have them all centered, so they're not going to move, but just say I'm going to click on this, and then I hold shift and click the right arrow key. That just jumps it over a little faster than if I just hit the arrow. Like this is one right arrow key, and then this is one with shift, so it's a little bit, it just makes it go to the right faster. But anyway, we're going to select both of those, come up here, align center, and then the doctor will move so it's centered with appointment. You can also do that over here. Here's the shortcut for that, and the text is right up here too if you want to see more of your fonts and go through that. But here's the transform panel, it's called, and this has the align center button in that. All right, so that's what we have so far. I think what I want to do, then what I usually do is look at this, and I think I want appointment a little bit smaller. Here's a little tip. If you put your mouse on the bottom diagonal corner, and then I'm going to hold shift and option, and then if I click and drag, it'll go in on both sides, so it'll stay like proportionate with the shift key, but then it'll bring it in on both sides, so that just shrinks faster. So, and then it just stays center also, so I don't have to, because if I only hit shift, then it's just going like that, so then I have to recenter it. I'm gonna undo that. But if I hit shift and alt or option, that is on a Mac too. I'm not sure what you have to do for that on a PC. I know it's shift for making it proportionate, but I'm not sure if the alt button would work the way I said it would on a PC. I work on a Mac, so I know that more. I'm more familiar with that. All right, we're gonna nudge the appointment up, and then we're keeping this kind of neutral, so I'm just gonna click on my, let's see, maybe we'll make the appointments text. We're going to come up here to change, and then this is all the grays, like from white to black, so we're going to just go and make it a little bit gray, maybe a little bit more gray, like a light gray. And the reason I do this, I like when the script font goes over top of the other one, like the other font, so I wanted it just to be a little bit different color. So that is what we came up with. One other thing, when you align it center, it does it exactly what the center would be, and so this kind of makes the word look off center with this extra line on the R. So if you want to nudge it a little bit, maybe to make it look a little bit more centered, you can always do that. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And then we want to resize it because this is actually pretty big. This is a 3-inch sticker, which we don't want. So we're just going to hold that shift key and drag and make it, let's see, we'll probably make it around 1 inch. We have, there we go, a little bigger than 1 inch, so that'll work. So there's our doctor appointment. And then what I'm going to do now, all we need to do is make the actual sticker part. Nothing on here is cutting right now, we just have the text. So I'm going to drag and hold and then select both of those. I'm going to bring you in a little bit, zooming in. And then what we're doing, we're going to come over here So both of these are selected, and this is how you make a sticker. You come over here to this little star, it's called the offset panel, and then you click, while both of them are selected, you click offset, and then I'm actually, my setting's usually at 0.04, that's usually what I use for my little stickers. So we're gonna do that, and if it's not right, you can always type in here or hit the up and down until you like the size. Like if I go down, we'll just go down and I'll show you. Like, see how it's getting closer to the letters? I like them a little bit farther out. So we're going to do 0.4. We're actually going to do 0.5, I think, for this one, just so there's less. Like right here, there's a pretty big like cut in. I'll show you here. Let's press apply. All right. So this has a little point here. It was a little bit farther in, so the sticker would have cut a little bit more in. So I think this looks better. So there we have everything that's red now is what's going to cut. The red is not going to print, it's just going to cut. All right, now let's just change some colors because I just want to show you the variety that you can get by just this simple sticker. This would be good, I think, on a clear paper or just regular paper too. But it'd be on regular paper, it would be more fun if it was colorful. So I'm going to go in here, open the replicate panel over here on the right, and then we're just going to duplicate right. And then I'm going to hold shift and push the right arrow just to get it away from this one a little bit. And then we're just going to change the colors. So I think the top one, I want to make it a blue. And then I'm going to go down here, click appointment, and then we're always using this fill, not the stroke. You don't want any stroke on it. And then I'm going to make the teal. So see how much different that looks? It looks a lot brighter. And then I'm going to show you one more. So I'm going to replicate this again. We're going to go down this time. And then I'm just going to move it away. And then let's just put a nice, let's do a warm colors this time. So we're going to do red, maybe not quite so red, like a red-orange. And then we're going to do that. So this is, yeah, this is like a very different look from this one too. And then when you're doing your sheet of stickers, if you decide to sell these, it's more, people like it when you do different colors. So but that's just, those are different options you can do to make the sticker look a little different and make it so that it matches whatever the people are, whatever layout they're putting it in. So that's just the simple text doctor appointment sticker. I just want to add an icon, I think, to this. So I already have this open. You can go to File, Open, and then open whatever file you get your icon from. I get my icons from flaticon.com, I believe it is. They're called Flat Icon. So that's where the stethoscope came from. And I have a couple here. This is one big JPEG, so I'm going to show you how to use that. And then this is one I kind of changed the color on, and this is a vector. This is one that I can change. It's just a grouped bunch of objects. It's not a picture. Also, when you open it, if you see this little like exclamation mark with the triangle, it just means it's low resolution. Whenever you open it, whenever you do File, Open, it usually opens too big. We're not going to use it this big, so when we shrink it, let me click on that again. When you shrink it, that'll go away. So it takes a minute, but there, see, then it's gone. That's the only reason that's there, so that's not a big deal. I'm going to actually highlight both of these and then hit Command-C, Control-C on a PC. And then we're going to come in here and then let's zoom out just a little bit. And then I'm going to hit Command-V or Control-V, which is paste. So we just pasted these in here. All right, and you can see here now if I drag it off the board that the top one has the white background and then this bottom one is all transparent. So if you bring something in, an icon specifically, and it has a white background, you're not going to be able to make the line go around the shape. It's going to be just like a square sticker, which you probably don't want. The way you can change that is you just go up here, and it's called the trace panel. It's really simple. This is a really cool feature of Silhouette Studio. You just hit select trace area, and then you highlight the JPEG, and then we're going to do a little bit more on the threshold so that it actually goes. So not that far, but you want to make sure everything, the whole stethoscope in this case, is yellow, so that it wasn't strong enough to pick up the colors when it on the default, so we just had to scoot it over to the right a little bit, and now everything looks like it's covered in yellow and nothing extra. It looks perfect. So now we're going to hit trace, and then it doesn't look like too much happened, but you can see the red line all around this now. that's the first step. All right, let's just copy one of these. We'll just do it with the black. So I'm just going to replicate that. You can also just copy and paste it. Go to edit, copy, edit, paste, or do your Command CV to copy paste. But we're just going to push it up. And then I'm going to bring this over here. And I think for this, since it is a pretty square icon, both of these, we're going to delete the die line first. And then I think I'm going to abbreviate appointment. So I'm going to double click in here, and then I'm going to select everything but everything between the P and the T. I'm going to say appointment. I don't know if I want the period. I don't think we'll have the period. That should be assumed. But we're going to put that there and then maybe make this bigger. Nope, I don't like that. So this is what happens. You kind of just trial and error. So I'm going to undo that. Undo again. I'm hitting Command Z. Whenever I say Command, if you're on a PC, just know that you need to hit Control. I'm not going to probably keep saying Control and Command at the same time. So, all right, so I undid all that. We're going to keep it like it is right now. Maybe we'll just shrink appointment so it's kind of lines up with that, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to scoot it up a little. And I'm just eyeballing it to see what'll look best. And then we're going to maybe right there. The blue lines are nice guides, so I think that looks good. So this is nice and it's like square. So I'm going to take this over here and we're just going to put this. It's really simple to add an icon. You just put it right next to the text. I'm shrinking it down. Always hold shift so that you keep the proportion when you're dragging it to be resized. And then we just put it over here like this. And then I can always rotate it if I don't like it. Maybe I want it more like that. And then we'll go up and over. But I think something like that. So that just gives us a little icon to go along with the text, which I think looks nice. I don't think we have to change any of the text fonts or anything. So we're just going to say that we like this. Maybe I'll shrink this down just a tiny bit. All right, like that. And now we need to do the sticker again, make the sticker outline. So I'm going to do basically the same thing, but we're going to highlight everything. And then we're going to go over here to the offset panel like we did before. Click offset. And then this is going to be a little different because the icons are always a little bit harder to do, but I think we're going to do the 0.045. You can always zoom in before you click offset if it makes it easier. But here's something I can show you now. All right, so we did the 0.045. Now if you look at this, you'll see there's some little tiny pieces of the sticker that's going to be cut out. We don't want anything in the middle cut out. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. The first way, if you double click on the red line, all the little points will show up. And if you click on one of the middle points and just hit delete, you could delete that whole little section. That'll be gone. Another thing you can do, which may be easier for some people, I tend to just delete like that and move points around, but a lot of people I know like it this other way. So I have the red outline selected. I'm going to click, just right click, and then what I'm going to do is say release compound path. So we're going to click that, and now it became two separate pieces. So now when I click this middle one, you can just hit delete. You don't have to double click or anything. So that's how to get rid of the middle pieces. And then I'm still going to double click this. What I usually do, I don't like when there's teeny tiny little points in the sticker. So I'm going to zoom in. And then it seems like my cutting machine doesn't like those and I get this torn sometimes. So we're just going to delete. There's a ton of little points right here that don't need to be here. I'm just going to leave one of them. So that's kind of just, you can play with that if you're having problems with your machine cutting or anything. I just found it's better if it's more shallow, I guess, like not such a big point, like a tiny little area. So that's what I just changed. So I don't know if that made sense, but hopefully it made sense to some of you if it's important to you. All right, but there we have another sticker. So there's our first doctor appointment with just text. Here's our doctor appointment with the icon. And this I can just do, this is the grouping area up here. Well, this is the send it back and everything. Here's the group. So I can ungroup this, and then that's how I can change the colors too. So I can change the blue. They're all separate now. here's a trick I don't think a lot of people know. If you click select by color, then go to by fill, this shows every color in the document, and then if you click on it, so everything, now all the teal is selected. You don't have to go in individually and select every single one of them. And then since they're all selected, you can go to the color picker, either up here on the left or it's over here too. I don't think I showed you that, but like the fill panel and the stroke is right here. But you can go over here and then change the color to whatever you want it to be. So there's a yellow. All right, so we have that, and then the last thing I want to show you is just how to make a sticker where you can write in like the time and then what appointment it is, like a description of it. So we're kind of going to start from scratch on that one, I think. We're going to, oh, you know what I forgot to tell you? So I forgot to tell you how to do this. So if you do have this icon, it's a JPEG. We are going to, I'm just going to, how about let's just select the doctor and appointment. We already have our text that we like. I'm going to copy and paste that over here. And then I'm going to drag and select both these because remember this is two pieces. It's the red line and then it's the actual JPEG image. I'm going to shrink this down so it's about the size that we wanted. And then I'm going to make it just a little bigger. And then we're going to turn it so it looks similar to my other one. And then I just adjust where it goes. All right, and then now what we need to do, we can leave this. We can't really change the color on a JPEG unless I went into Illustrator. I have Adobe Illustrator also and did that. So you can't really adjust the color. If you can also bring the JPEG into Photoshop and adjust the color, but it's much harder to do that just in Silhouette Studio as a JPEG. So we're going to leave the color this nice pink color, but the problem would be, so if I didn't have the red line, this is what would happen. So this is just the JPEG and the text selected, and then I go here and then I click offset. See how this box forms and it's not nicely going around like this one? So it's just going around the whole white box. So that's what we don't want. So I'm going to hit cancel. What I do want, I'm going to select everything, and then with everything selected, I'm going to hold shift and then click on the white box, which gets rid of the JPEG. So if I move it down, you can see it didn't move. Everything else moved. So I have everything selected except for the actual picture. Now I can go in and click offset. And then we'll keep it with the 0.045. Now it's exactly like this one up here. So we can go in and delete these. This was a little closer, so you can see this one didn't have the little red slit in here like this one did. But that's just because this was a little bit closer to the text. But it's all the same from here on. You just do the same thing that we did up here. So I'm not going to repeat that since we already did it. But there's that. And then now for the last thing, we are going to, basically it's going to be like an appointment label with text on top. I don't think we'll do the icon. I think it will just be easier with just the text on top, and it's a different sticker to show all you. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here to the drawing tools and then click the rounded rectangle. And then I'm just going to draw a rough shape right here. It's going to be about 1.5 inches wide. That's standard for like appointment stickers. And then this looks not good at all. So what we want to do, click the arrow. I don't like the corners like this. So since it's a rounded rectangle, they're round corners, but these are not even at all. So what you do, you can click the one that you want. We want the, I want it kind of to be smaller. I don't want it to have like hugely rounded corners. So we're going to click this little red one right here. We're going to hold shift and click, and then this one will go so it's the same distance away from the corner as this one. And then you can also, if you click and drag, it changes, but then you see it's only changing one. If you, here we're going to shift click this again so it's the same. If you hold shift and drag, they both are all proportionate. So we can make like a little more circular label, or you can go up so just the corners are rounded. So we're just going to do that so that we have rounded corners. And then this also has the red around it since it's a new shape we created. So I'm going to click on that, say no stroke. And then now we're going to be doing a couple different things to this. First of all, I think we're just going to take the text that I have down here. We'll just use the appointment. I think we'll just use the capital text, so I'm copying and pasting that. I think on this, it'll look better if we just have the same text if we don't have this cursive, but we'll see after we do it. I'm not sure. I haven't actually made these yet. I'm just making it with you guys. So I'm going to type in doctor right now, and then we have doctor appointment. We can always abbreviate if we need to, but I think we'll be fine. We can shrink it just a little bit if we have to. All right, so I'm going to slide this over here. Yeah, there's plenty of space and it fits. And then why don't we center this? All right, so this is like 2 different labels right now, but we're working on it. So here we have this. Now we want to make this the right size actually. So we want it 1.5. So I'm just going to go up here this time to make it a precise size. You can come up here to the W, and then I'm going to delete. So it's exactly 1.5, and then hit return. And then it's 0.345. Actually, that height is fine. So we're going to leave the height, but you could change that up here too. So now we have our event label, and then what I want to do, I'll show you how to make the little lines inside it so you can like schedule. We're going to come over here, or so you can write in it. And let's make this a color, just so it's a little bit prettier. We'll just make it the teal. There we go. And then this can be maybe dark blue. Or we might turn it white. I don't know. We'll leave that the gray actually right now. So I'm going to come over here, select my rectangle, and then we're going to do an internal offset this time. So I'm going to click internal offset, and then I think I'm going to have it a little bit more than the 0.45 for the internal offset. And so as you can see, now the offset's going in instead of around the outside. So we're going to hit apply. And now what I want to do, this is going to be the part that we write on. So we're going to go to the fill, and then we're going to make it white. And we don't want it to be completely white. We want to see some of the color shown through. So I'm going to just do transparent, maybe 25 or so. 25 will do. All right, so now it's kind of see-through, and that has the red line around it also. So always make sure you go into the line and say none. All right, so now we have, this is like your basic event label. If you want to make it a scheduling label, this is the way I do it. I found this is the easiest instead of drawing the extra. I mean, there's a few different ways. You could copy this and paste it and then shrink. Like if I have the white selected right now, I hit Command C, then V. Oops. I want it copied exactly in place, so I'm hitting Command F. That pastes it in front of whatever you copied. So now there's 2 on top of each other. We're gonna move one over here, about there maybe, and then we're gonna move this one over here. And then you have your appointment label. You can kind of make this side bigger if you want, or smaller, just however you prefer. So I want that maybe a little bit bigger so I have more space to write the time in there, but there we have our appointment label. The other way I was going to show you how to do that, you could just take a rectangle and then draw a box, and then all you do is select the arrow, and this is going to be on the wrong side, but you put this, like basically you would put it right here where you want the white to go away, but I can't do that there. Right? Why don't I just show you? So I'm going to delete this. This is going to be, I'm going to put this back where it was, and then we're going to delete this little one. So now we're back to the basic label, and then I'm going to draw my rectangle right here. That's too big. I'm going to adjust it so it's thinner because we don't want the space in between the white to be that big. All right, and then I'm going to move it over, say maybe right there. And then all you do is select the white box, and then you have your black one selected on top of it. So that would be shift click to have them both selected. And now just this little black box and this the white box is shown. And then you just go over here to this one down here. It's the modify panel, and then say subtract. And then now you have your 2 different pieces. So there's 2 different ways to do that, whatever one you find is easier you can do, but I figured I'd show you both of them and just show you different ways to do it, and then you pick the way you like. All right, and now what we want to do to make all of this one big label, or sticker. I'm going to move the doctor text a little bit closer. And then I'm going to, right here, I'm going to just center it too. Okay, I think I already centered it because it's there. I'm going to nudge it over to the right just a little because I feel like it's just to center it a little nicer. All right, and now what I want to do, I'm going to make an outline for both of these. So I'm just selecting the green part, the like teal, and the text, and then we're going to go, oops, click on this, the offset panel, click offset. And then I'm just going to do, let's see, we'll do our 045 again. The only problem with this is that this is going to be really, really fat. So I think, honestly, what I'm going to do to make it not so fat, I'm going to select the two white areas and the text, and then we're going to offset it from there. So we're just trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. All right, this maybe we'll do a little bit more. It's a little off center, but I think I like that. Let's apply that. All right, now what we need to do, we're actually, this was kind of just a guide at first, so we're going to delete the teal just for a second. This is actually going to be the die line, so let's offset that. Hopefully this is making sense. So I'm going to go over here and do 0.45 right here. And then this part is going to be, I'm going to go over here and show it. I'm just going to make it the teal, like that. And if this goes on top for some reason, you can always send it to the back because this is the bleed. So we want that there. And then we also don't want the red line around there because we don't want that to cut. All right. Hopefully that made sense. Now you have your doctor appointment and you can write in the sticker. You can play around with this. This isn't the prettiest thing. This could probably have been closer down here, and then we will just redo the die line. But honestly, hopefully that showed you kind of how to do it. I'll do that really quickly to show you. I'm going to just move this over here. We are going to delete this and then select all of these. The white ones are kind of invisible right now. Offset it by 0.045, apply, and then that's still selected, so I'm going to offset it again by 0.045 and apply it, and then we're going to take off the cut line, put on some teal. So that looks a little bit better. And just, I guess I want to explain what this is before we go, and then this is like the last thing I'm going to show you. This is the bleed. I make a manually make a bleed around it. So when the cut line, when it cuts this out, you don't get any white space. Like if you made this, if we deleted this and you just filled this in here with the teal, if there's any, like this is what the sticker will look like once it's cut out, but if there's any movement, you'll get a little bit of white on the edge, on some of these edges, because the sticker's not going to print out exactly perfect. Well, it'll print, but it won't cut out exactly perfect. So the cut line might be just slightly over to the right, and then you'll have a white line here if you don't make a bleed. So that's why we make a bleed. So I'm going to put that back. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I think that's all I'm going to show you right now. Hopefully everything made sense. I'll try to explain things to you in the comments if I can. And if there's a big question or anything, maybe I can make another video kind of clarifying how I do something. But let me know if you like this kind of video. I know a lot of people liked my previous videos that I did the design with me's for. So I thought this might be helpful for if people are trying to make their own stickers. If you like this video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!